on the one hand, we have a tariff news. A meeting is set to happen today between US and China that is set to happen in London. And there's been rumors circulating around that this new negotiation round might bring very, very good results. Apparently, that is also as a follow up to a call that Donald Trump and Xi had last week, which Trump described as a very good talk. So, generally, I think the momentum on the US China tariffs has shifted back to being more positive again. And that's probably something the market is pricing in over those last couple of hours with BTC running. Above 107K. And as you said, with what happened before in the weekend, however, which kind of started on Friday with Elon and Trump falling out, and BTC did go as low as 101K. On that situation or on that end, it seems like they're starting to kind of be friends again, because with the tensions, with the riots that are now going on in LA, and I'm going to get into those in a second, we now see Elon screenshotting things that Trump is posting over on Truth Social and basically agreeing with Trump's stance that the National Guard has been sent into LA, that these riots need to be stopped there. So it kind of seems that the LA riot situation is accelerating the Trump Elon makeup arc. And just to maybe say what's quickly happening in LA is started on Friday, so we have now 3 straight days of rioting going on, and it all began on Friday after ICE, the immigration agency, made dozens of arrests across the city over alleged immigration violations. And this basically was the starting point for riots, which further then escalated, which then led to the National Guard being sent to LA with 300 people being deployed, and Trump going even further, saying that he's open to increase the amount of National Guard deployed to 2,000. He's basically, if this is not stopping, then martial law can be declared over that. On the one hand, on the other hand, both the mayor of LA as well as the governor of California, both being Democrats, are not very happy with Trump deploying the National Guard. But it seems that these tensions and riots are escalating, and definitely have escalated over the last 3 days. And as I just said before, this news is something where Trump and Elon are aligned again and are willing to, quote unquote, support one another on the timeline.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm about to getting hay fever a bit. Did you okay, so that's going on. We're obviously not getting too political here, we're just trying to analyze the effects on the market. It sounds like the market maybe cared a bit, but ultimately is really moved aggressively forward here, more on the trade stuff. So these meetings are going to be taking place between China. I didn't realize it was today, but so China and US allegedly today in London. And that really got the market moving, in spite of the fact that this was announced on Friday, I think. So not entirely sure why the market is taking that long to respond, or it's just a bunch of people just being super late to it. Is that I don't know, looking at the chart, we're just very confident here above 100, or at least we have been for a while. There are still pretty heavy hitting negative bits of news every now and again. I shouldn't say very negative, but as in of the tariff style, negotiations are going bad, someone insults someone, Trump and Elon get into a fight, but it doesn't seem to want to go beneath 100, for example. So my reading of the whole situation is that I'm taking quite a lot of confidence from, even in a period of uncertainty, which it is, and a little bit of back and forth and potential conflict. I think people are remaining relatively optimistic, at least on the crypto side. Eddie, what's your final reflection there? Then let's talk plasma.
Maybe it's even fueling it from both sides. So as chaos is descending, yes, there's a sell-off, but it feels like that there's a strong belief at around the 100K mark that Bitcoin is a good chaos hedge. And then on the other hand, and that's certainly supported by the like constant ETF inflow pressure, every positive news is used to send the market higher. Maybe specifically to the negotiations in London that are happening today, they are like happening at a very high level. On the US side, you have the Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, as well as Treasury Secretary Bessent representing the US of A. And on China's side, you have the Vice Premier joining those talks. And from what analysts have been saying on that, at least a limited agreement, whatever that would look like, is expected to be the outcome of that. And again, I think that the market very much has the appetite to react to those news positively.
Yeah. Just think, if you're thinking through probabilities, it's like every time doubt sets in or someone insults someone and someone says things are going badly, we go down. But like we've just been in this plus above 100K range for a while. Like that's the worst of it at the moment. And if you were to think through like what's the probability of the I don't think ultimately China and the US can operate properly without some kind of stable deal in place. So the market's just super ready to hear that positive news and just move up, I think. Even if it's not as, it's not going to be the fully globalized world type of deal that we've had in the past, but like it's just market just wants some certainty. It's just looking for an excuse to go up once it gets that. And even when it's doesn't get it, still above 100.